Welcome to the Addison Bowen podcast, where we talk about what it actually takes to hit your first six or multi-six figures in business. I'm Addison, certified clinical hypnotherapist and online business coach for entrepreneurs. And 3 years ago, I decided that nursing wasn't for me, dropped out of nursing school, and dove into the online space. From free hypnosis audios to unfiltered conversations and business advice, this is the space for you to take radical responsibility towards creating your dream business. Let's dive in. Hi guys, welcome back to the podcast. We have another amazing guest here today. I'm super excited to bring Laura in. We're going to talk all about feminine sales and specifically her feminine sales revolution. Laura is the Feminine Sales Revolution founder, and she guides magical goddesses to ditch marketing chaos and sign premium clients through community-led and feminine sales experiences. So this is going to be a juicy, jam-packed one on some strategies that I think a lot of people in my audience, at least, have not heard before, if any audiences, because you have such a different approach to sales. So I'm super excited to talk about that. So welcome. I would love to hear a little bit about your journey from like online business manager to high ticket sales queen and feminine sales revolution founder, because you've made some pivots and that's awesome.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, Addison. I binge your podcast and I think you have such rock stars and it's so valuable. So I'm excited to leave you guys with some very tangible tips that you could apply into your business for feminine sales. And yeah, my journey from being a online business manager for spiritual leaders who were women and pivoting into coaching, I seen a huge gap that was happening behind the scenes of these magical women who are healers and who are just spiritual leaders. And they were just spinning their wheels with like getting caught up in the hamster wheel of like, oh, this marketing strategy, oh, that funnel strategy. And they would like build it out. And obviously I would be supporting them because I was their business manager. So I would do most of it for them and they would just like tell me how they wanted it to go. And they would build it out and it would just like flop. Sometimes it would just like flop. But I seen that like them wanting to scale their business, but getting so lost into the shiny object syndrome. So I really seen gaps of like what actually allows you to grow your income in sustainable ways that are simple and you don't have to go and chase 10 different things just to make another four-figure sell. So that's where I realized that, and that's why I have pivoted into coaching and helping just these healers and magical goddesses into having a solid business foundation that you could focus on to have four-figure days, and where it still has like all the things that support your community, but you don't have to build out 10 different things in order to have high ticket sales.
I love that. And I just asked you about your son going back to school and like spending the summer with him and like, you know, what you guys do and stuff like that. And I want to highlight for everyone that's listening, like, I feel like you're an embodiment of that, because you're like, yeah, we just get crazy. We stay up all night. We like sleep in, we just go to the pool, like we hang out. So I think that's just really highlighting like what you teach, that it gets to be simple and you get to have this business that supports your family. And obviously like your son is probably number one for you when it comes to like your business model. So I love that. And I think that's really what sets your methods apart. So I would love to hear about the feminine sales revolution and how that's different from the way that most women are taught to sell online.
Yeah, that's an amazing question. And that actually like that brought me back to when I even first started my business in the online space. I have never stayed up like 10 hours building massive websites in order to sign clients, or I have never like when I first came into the online space, I had a simple plan that was given to me by a coach and I executed it, and that allowed me to scale my business for so long because I really stick to the basics and like money generating activities. So it does get me, I am passionate about that. And you bring up my son, and I think it's so important because he was like 6 months old when I started my business, and I like never had to stay up hours and like grind it out just to make a sell. And I've been like I've been following this method ever since the beginning. But sometimes you got to look back to be like, wait, I actually like have been doing this from the start, which is really exciting. So even in this where we are now in the online space, there is such traction with marketing and business systems. And I think all of that is great, but I think it's leaving so many women behind and left unseen because being a feminine woman, it's like you do not want to go and chase the next shiny marketing strategy that you have to basically really wrap your energy around for it to work. Like you have to contort your mind and your energy in order to execute that. So it's leaving a lot of women behind, and that's because women are meant to just be a embodiment of what they teach and have like a business system that they could naturally flow from. And it does have to be aligned. It's supposed to support your energy. And a lot of women are being left behind right now because there's so many coaches teaching like just incredible marketing stuff, but it's not always fit for the feminine woman. And so that's what's different about this. It's you are able to have really an experience in your business where you prioritize community and sisterhood and your feminine energy and connection and just be a walking embodiment of your work and make sales that way. And you could lead from that energy and not have to be so like watered down or like so like it kind of feels like a heavy ball that you have to carry sometimes with like, oh my god, this new thing, oh my god, that, oh my god, wait, I just bought this but there's already a new marketing over there, like, oh, let me go get it. And truly, and I'll give you guys a secret, undercover secret, because I buy, okay, I'm just like, oh my god, wait, she said this, let me go buy it, she
Mhm.
said this, let me go buy it. And I will say it's not that fun once you open up the box. It's just like I kind of have to like it just doesn't fit. It just doesn't flow. And so I'll save you guys a lot of time and money right now of, people are such great marketers, and that's why they make it seem like this marketing right here is the pinnacle of success. And what I really just want to share with these women who are feminine beings is you don't need to go that route only like just because you want like sales and consistent reoccurring revenue. Like you don't have to go that route if you feel like it's not aligned for you already.
Yeah, I love that. And when you say like marketing tactics and things changing as well too, like I even think about the algorithm being like, okay, at one point maybe carousels worked really well, and now like this type of content works really well, and it can be exhausting to test it all out and do, like try
Yeah.
everything and or get on this platform or start the podcast or whatever. Like, not that any of those things are bad,
Mm-hmm.
but I think what I love about your method is that it's really rooted in one, like sales can work in a lot of different ways. And then two, there's a way that, you can connect and collaborate with people in a community led space, like you said, without having to find yourself following the algorithm and just trying to get visibility that way or whatever, you know what I mean? And I love that because I tell my clients all the time too. I even had a client on a call that we were just on ask if they should be on TikTok or Instagram or whatever. And it's like, I mean, both you could be,
Mm-hmm.
but like you got to start with what feels good to you, and a system that feels good to you, and simplify it. And you don't have to be on either platform. I think one of the biggest like helps for me in growing my business was just recognizing like I can be on TikTok, but I don't have to be. And that's what I really like about your system. So I know that you differ a lot in the sense of like your group goddess sales method, which we're going to talk all about. But tell us about the group goddess sales method, because that's part of the feminine sales revolution. And then also like how this method allows clients or women to fill their client roster without chasing those algorithm or marketing tactics, or having to switch things up all the time, or waiting to be, discovered through a viral reel or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like tell us about this system and how it weaves into this revolution.
Yeah, so this system came about when I realized I was pondering like what has been the easiest way that I have connected, because I have such dreamy clients. It's just like they feel like sisters. And I'm just like, what has been the easiest way that I've been able to connect with these women and just have such ride or die clients where, when I raise my prices, they celebrate me. When I raise my prices, and I remember it in 1 month in 2025, I raised my prices twice. And they were just like, you deserve it. And I'm just like, oh my God, like that's the type of
That's
clients
such a good feeling.
that you like are able to connect with. And so when I thought about it, I discovered I'm just like, being on Instagram has been cool. Being on TikTok at one point has been cool, which I'm not there on there anymore. Being, on I don't know, any other like Twitter was never my thing. I'm just like, those are cool, but the way that I was really able to show up as me and just have natural connections, and it result into like loyal lifelong clients who pay me over 6 figures for every single service or package or whatever, it has been through Facebook groups. And so that's why I was able to create a clear roadmap of how I did it and how I connected with amazing dreamy clients through Facebook groups. And the way that other women are able to connect with other dreamy clients. And what's so beautiful about it is that you don't even have to make a piece of content that day. You don't even have to be aware of the latest marketing tactic that guru is talking about. You don't even have to like go live that day. You could really just be in Facebook groups where people are already looking for what you're selling. That's the beautiful piece about it. There's groups that you could be a part of that are filled to the freaking brim of just other clients looking for what you're selling. And this has just been such a massive shortcut for me to connect with these people, because the other alternative that I just never resonated with was like build a following on Instagram. And I'm just like, how am I supposed to do that? I post a piece of content and it's just like I don't get any new followers. I don't make any new friends or connections. And like, how are people supposed to find me? Like, no one knows me. My Instagram is just like there. And Facebook groups have really allowed me to instantly connect with dream buyers without having to worry about followers and likes and, was it interesting enough? Was my hook good enough? And that's what led me to creating that framework for my clients, where it's just like an instant connection and an instant shortcut to be able to do that. And you had another question around that, and I forgot it. If you could remind me.
Well, the group goddess sales method is part of that feminine sales revolution, right? And I think just because I know a lot about your movement and stuff like that, you've shared that you want people to be able to make sales in whatever way feels authentic to them. So if that is Instagram, if that's creating content, if that's TikTok, like having the sales skills to make that happen. But the group goddess sales method is like Facebook specific, which is not something that we hear a lot of people talking about. So how does that allow women to fill their client rosters without having to like post that day? You know, is it all connection based? Is it community led? Is it
Mm,
collaborations? Like, yeah, just give us some more insight
totally.
into how that works.
Yeah, and what's awesome is, like I said, like even a minute ago, just like pondering on the fact that there's so this is the beauty of it. Facebook groups are large spaces with a huge audience that are already niched for you, that you can enter, and you already know if you're entering a group of like fit moms that that's what you're going to get. And that's what's the beauty about it. It's just like you can instantly enter worlds that are filled with people who want to be part of that movement and who want support in that area of their life. And that's another reason why I think it's so genius. So the way that I even want to talk about like my first coaching client ever came from a Facebook group. And the way that that happened was, and this is like super feminine, is like super on brand.
I love it.
I was, I was showing up in a Facebook group. And the thing is, so if you're going to apply this strategy, don't just join like 10 different Facebook groups and just like go like it's like spread yourself so thin. Try to find like 3 or 4 Facebook groups where you're liking the vibes. It's not spammy. You're liking the vibes. There's real people connecting about real things, and you feel like there's definitely people in here you vibe with, and that you could call this place like a home. It's like a home base. So choose like maybe 3 or 4 Facebook groups that you really resonate with. It's active. People are authentic. Um, and so that's how you find good ones in your niche. And so I remember I was showing up in one Facebook group consistently because the vibes were gold. It was just filled with women who are just like minded and who have a lot of the same values and missions as I do. And I was just showing up, and this, this beautiful goddess just like reached out to me one day, and she was just telling me about how she's interested in my coaching services and like what are ways that we could work together. And then down the line, I had asked her like what stood out to you, like how did this happen, because it's always good to know like how things are unraveling. Was it a certain post? Was it something you talked about that really resonated with one person? Because when that happens, you know it's going to resonate with the masses, your larger audience. So I had asked her, and she, obviously me presenting as a business coach, but she had pointed out that the post that really resonated her and actually had her reach out to me was a post about self-love.
Mm.
And this touches on a lot of points. One is, even when you're in Facebook groups and you're talking about a variety of topics, I was showing up as the business coach, but I was talking about self-love in one post, and that created a conversion. And this is what's so feminine about it. You could show up in these spaces and share values and share just stories that really touch other people, and they instantly resonate with you. They land on your page. Oh, you're a business coach. I'm actually wanting a business coach. And I really loved this self-love post. It resonates with my values. It's what I'm looking for too. And so it's just connections on so many levels, but it still leads to dream buyers, because if she never saw that post about self love, she would have never hired me as a business coach. That's why there's so many beautiful opportunities inside of Facebook groups where you don't always have to be showing up and performing and selling and thinking like, what do I say to make these people buy? It was literally a post about self-love and me just romanticizing a moment in my life and having and making that connection and getting hired. And that was like my first coaching client ever. And that just shows how in your feminine you can be inside of Facebook groups and still make sales. It's just the most beautiful thing ever.
Yeah, I love that. And I love your point about Facebook groups being so niche, because rather than just posting something and it, you know, hoping it goes to the right people, like you're already in that group where you know it's moms or it's your specific niche or it's whatever. So I love that. And I think like from my marketing brain too, I'm like, that's genius, because when someone like that resonates with a post, it's like you could then take that and put it on your Instagram, or you could then market with that information, because you're also kind of doing like market research in the same breath too. So even if you're a part of those Facebook groups and, you're creating those connections or whatever, you're going to know what resonates with people, and that's going to give you market research too. So I think that's awesome. One thing that really stands out to me, like as I've learned more about you and your mission, is that you talk about cherry picking your best potential clients, which you kind of already like hit home with that in the sense of like you're in these niched communities and stuff like that. But I think for a lot of people, they're like, ooh, I would love to just like look at this roster of people and cherry pick my most aligned clients and only work with aligned clients. And I would love if you could just like break down a simple system of how that works in practice, or things that people can implement, today if they're like, I'm just tired of the hamster wheel. Or I even told you, there's so many different ideal clients that will really resonate with this, because even me, I'm like, I'm going on maternity leave. If I could sit there and breastfeed my baby and just be in Facebook groups connecting with really cool people versus like, oh, did I batch this content or whatever? Like there's so much value in that. So I would love if you just share like, where can people start? What does this look like? Do you have a system, and how it works in practice?
Yeah, so there's two super leverage ways that you can use Facebook groups, and I'm going to touch on two things. One, it's to grow your audience, like using connecting in Facebook groups, and the second one is actually making sales and making those aligned connections that lead into clients. So I will say like kind of like a warning thing. Like warning, you can't just like so let's say you are at the point where you're just like, okay, I'm gonna pick 3 to 4 aligned Facebook groups that I feel like have a lot of potential. If you go in there and you make one post and you just like leave and walk away, is it going to get seen? Yeah. But is it going to get as much engagement as it possibly can? No. So the reason why I have you choose 3 to 4 Facebook groups and make them your home is because you actually have to take 5 to 10 minutes to interact with people in there. So when you post, it's higher on the algorithm. It's going to pop up on their feed. So and it's that easy, right? So once you do that and you just, you have a little flow with that, this post always pops off. And it is the result, it resulted in, I made a post about this. It was 230% follower increase in 4 weeks from this one post. And I'm going to give it to you guys right now. So are you ready for this? Okay. So let's say you found a Facebook group that's super aligned. So for me, I serve magical goddesses and healers. So I'm in these specific Facebook groups. And one post that grew my following like crazy, I said, who here is a magical goddess in business, you know, excited for to skyrocket in 2025? What's your Instagram handle? I would love to follow you. Those are they pop off all the time. Why? Because people love to drop their Instagram handle. And once you like follow them, okay, I'm gonna take you through a little deeper than what I thought I was gonna do. Okay, so once they drop their Instagram handle and you go and follow them, you could be like, oh, okay, I followed you. I can't wait to see more of your content. You go to their Instagram page and you engage with their Instagram page so they could be aware of you. So that's like doing like liking some posts, leaving a comment, maybe even sending a message like, oh my gosh, I love this part of your graphic. I am excited and I'm just so glad we connected. And I already know that you're doing like amazing things in the world. And so that creates like an awareness. So they end up like following you back and being very aware of you.
And
And
seeing your
so
content and marketing and stuff you're already putting out there. Yeah.
yeah, like they'll binge your, especially if like let's say it's a magical goddess and she's looking for business support where she could still be in her feminine, and I connected with her and she sees that that's what I'm about. It's just like the period there,
Yeah.
boom. So
Easy.
that's so easy. And that literally in 4 weeks, it was a 230% increase in my following. If I never did that, it's just, and I hear this from people too. It's just like I'm posting every single day, and it's just like I still don't have any new followers. I still don't have any new
Yeah.
likes. And it's like it does like it's just like oh like I wish, something could work for me. And this way, it's just like imagine in 4 weeks you have a 230% follower increase simply from one post, from a simple strategy that you could take 5 to 10 minutes a day in, and just making this is the important part too. I'm not just making connections with random people and hoping they're like aligned or that they see value in what I do. I'm calling these people out. So if like let's say you're a nutrition coach, who here who here is passionate about healthy eating while not taking more than 30 minutes a day on meals? Like let's have a conversation, let's chat. Or like if you're a business coach and you're in specific groups, you could say who here is a business newbie who feels unstoppable in 2025. Let me go support you. What's your Instagram handle? Let me go follow you. And it's just so aligned. It's so aligned. So that's one way to increase your follower, to increase your audience size with the most aligned people possible. That's what I mean by cherry pick. And then in regards to sales, so so let's say you're doing the follower strategy that already starts the whole sales process, right? So when you have sales skills and you know how to lead conversations and you know how to ask questions, and they're just like, oh, you uncover that you could actually support them, boom, sell. And the other pathway that has really happened is what's actually really funny is once you're inside of these Facebook groups, there's already people asking for help. Like sometimes you don't even have to ask who needs help. There's already people in these niche groups saying, I need help with this. I want this. I'm dealing with this. Can anyone help me? Like it's just so easy, guys. And so when you see those posts and you're commenting like me, I could help you. I'll give you a little game right now. So I hope you're listening. Open up your ears. Like I'm gonna give you a little game. So a lot of people just like if you see someone's looking for help, don't immediately just like DM them. Like what another coach talks about this, and I love it. It's about being feminine, and leading from your feminine energy means that you don't just put your hand down someone's shirt. You're taking the time to ask for permission. Is this okay? I would love to chat further. Can I message you? Like have that genuine, and lead with your feminine energy of like making a friend, making a connection, seeing that person as a human, and being like, oh wow, like I actually just helped my client through this. I would love to share her journey because I know it would resonate with you. Can I send you a message? And so that again opens another portal, another opportunity. And with sales skills, you know how to ask questions and lead the conversations that allow you to get on sales calls and sign clients. And you know what's really, really amazing too? Like those two are strategies, right? But there's also what happens is, and what has happened for me, like on repeat, is just you providing a piece of valuable information to that Facebook group, and other people, thousands of people seeing it, they're simply going to reach out to you. Like, I'm even thinking about one of a pay in full client. Okay, so she was a pay in full client. So this is really good. This is really good, guys. Pay in full, okay, from Facebook groups. I remember this happened specifically where I was part of a Facebook group, and I was just like showing up and just talking about things I'm excited about, talking about things that it was just I love it because you can be so feminine. You could just talk about like, oh, I was on my yoga mat this morning, and just life just felt so freaking delicious, and I'm so excited to lead my mission. And oh my God, I hope you guys are having the best day ever. And that already like sparks interest, like, oh, who is this girl? Oh, she seems cool. And they'll be in your sphere. They'll be in their sphere. And I noticed this girl, she came from a Facebook group and she was in my sphere, and I reached out to her. I was like, hey, like, thank you so much for showing love on my post. I really appreciate that. Like, what type of healer are you? Or just like, I started the conversation. We sent 3, 4 messages back and forth. We get on the sales call, boom, pay in full. That's another prime example of how you don't always have to be so in your mind about marketing strategies. What do I say? Like, how do I say it? You could just show up in your freaking magic and have people fall in love with you and pay you in full.
I love that. And I think from the feminine aspect as well too, like what you're describing is not like, oh, I'm actively reaching out to these people to get them to buy. It's like, no, I just genuinely want to make connections. I want to serve them. I want to support them, which is, I mean, how impact led businesses should be, regardless, even with marketing, right? It shouldn't be like, what do I need to say today to get people to buy? It should be like, how can I impact people? Or how can I even impact one person? So I just love that. But I think in everything that you just said, I want to talk about like the feminine sales revolution, just like as a whole, because your group goddess sales method is just one piece of it, right? And there's other pieces, and I think you kind of hinted at that when you're talking about growing your audience. Like, people are coming to your Instagram, you're starting these conversations, you're following each other back and forth, you're focused on that impact, and then they might binge your content, right? So what are the other couple of pieces of this revolution, and how do they all intertwine?
Yeah, that I love that question. And I think something that is just so pinnacle about this is that feminine sales revolution is about dropping the freaking burden of thinking that when you're making sales, you have to learn how to manipulate or learn how to maneuver them so they could lead to a yes. It's about it's about being able to shed and release all of that and actually come to the knowing and fact of like, people are here needing support, and I could have an authentic, connected conversation with them, asking, what are you looking for? Like, what's going on? How do you feel blocked? Like, taking time to get to know these people. And if you know for a fact it's a full body, I could help this person, you're going to take it there. And feminine sales revolution is really about getting to that place where you no longer feel like you have to be in sales conversations and have to prove or have to use like, oh, what tactic could I use right here to make this happen. It's just like, gosh, the most beautiful client relationships that I am now experiencing and have experienced is when it just came so genuine, and I still added sales skills, which means I took the time to discover what's underneath the layer of this person saying, I'm struggling with this, or oh, I am interested in your coaching. Like, so there's a few other things that I could talk about, but that's the whole point of this. It's just like no longer feeling that burden and that fear of like, am I going to do this right? It's actually, how about you just care about the person, see what's beneath the layers, and if they are a perfect person, learning how to put the transformation that they're desiring into a beautiful bow of your offer and saying, here it is. And if they're the right person, they're going to buy. And if they're not, then they're not. And what's really important too is this doesn't mean that you're never going to deal with people's quote unquote objections. It's not really objections. I remember my client, my coaching client now, she wanted this, but she was just afraid. There was just fears holding her back. But I knew, and she knew that this was perfect for her. And she made her investment back in less than 4 weeks. She actually tripled her investment in less than 4 weeks when she did sign up. but it's also about like you're allowed to have that leadership in sales conversation. So feminine sales isn't just about being like whimsical and like no, it's actually about still being so grounded in your mission that you're able to lead them through those fears and those limitations because you know for a fact that it's going to benefit them. So it's about your leadership and being just still being aware though that you don't have to push, manipulate, but you could still lead with that leadership because you know that it's just those limitations that they want help and that they need help pulling away from so they could go towards their future self. So it's still, I still do that. If, and that reminded me of her, like she was like, we were on a phone call and she was just like, oh, what about this? I'm just like, no, look at this. Like, this is why this is going to benefit you. And I was just, I told her on the call, I'm just like, I was bulldozing over your objections because I knew that you needed this and there was no other better option for you. But I did it in such a way where she said yes. And she has paid me over and over and over again ever since then. So,
I think about like everything that you're sharing with feminine sales, whatever is still having those systems in place and then being so like convicted and confident in your mission that the objections you're not like, ooh, I have to like skirt around this or just say, okay, I'll check in with you later. It's like you're so convicted and confident in your mission that it's easy for you to say, no, this is actually what you need. So I love that you highlighted like even the Facebook group and this and your feminine sales revolution is not just like, oh, I'm going to post one time on this Facebook group and I'm going to get all of these sales. Like it's a consistent system that you have to implement, but it gets to feel flowy and easy rather than pushy. And I have to handle these objections or whatever, it can be like a conviction in what you do. So I love that.
yeah, and I think this also really resonates. I think community and feminine sales experiences resonates with so many women because it's just like so many women do crave that community and they look forward to sharing a piece of their heart in that group and for other people to enjoy it and to resonate. It's actually really, really exciting and uplifting and motivating when you post something where you're sharing your heart and your values and your mission and people are uplifting you and they're just like, yes, I'm behind this as well. So yeah, it's so perfect and it allows you to be in your feminine and it's also very community led because it's not just about doing one post in a group and then ghosting it. That's not community. Community is when you're there leading a movement and giving value and having others come along for the ride. That's community.
Yeah. And that devotion to your movement too, which I
Mm-hmm.
love. So for someone, a coach, at service provider, anyone that's listening to this and is exhausted from that marketing chaos, maybe likes marketing, but wants to get off the hamster wheel that we've been talking about and join the feminine sales revolution, what do you think is the first shift she needs to start making to seeing sales from this community led space instead of, I'm so burnt out from content?
Yeah, and I love marketing. I love marketing when it feels aligned. So I think there's women who thrive on just hopping on the new marketing rocket ship and taking it to the moon. People love that, and I think that's amazing. The woman who the sales revolution is really for where you want something really grounded that is tried and true that you could apply. It's a simple framework that you can use over and over again that captures attention, starts conversations, and ends up in sales. So what I would suggest is a really feminine method that aligns with so many. And it has even worked for women who feel so clouded by all the marketing stuff on the online space is taking a storytelling method content framework. And you're going to have so much fun with this. If you are a feminine woman who likes to be in her feminine energy, the storytelling framework is going to work so well for you because it's where you could really just pour your heart and soul into a storytelling framework that does the job for you. And let me tell you how effective this is. The only time that my son will listen for longer than a minute is when I'm telling a story. And and not only listen, but make him want to take action. So storytelling, it just works so well, and it's really feminine too. It's one of the content frameworks that I have found is the most feminine, and that's why I teach to my clients as well. So can you imagine? I'm talking to an 8-year old, and I'm telling him the moral of the story is that I'm telling him to eat more protein, go to the gym, and get his money up. And the way that I do that, if I just told him, Josiah, you need to eat more protein, go to the gym, and get your money up, he would have been like, no, like I'm playing video games right now. But the way I express it to him, I'm just like, listen, if I know you're grown up, like I know you're starting to be attracted to girls, and if you literally want to be the best man and have everything that you want, you have to eat your protein so you can grow your muscles. You have to go to the gym so you can have these big, strong muscles that your girlfriend could lay on. And while you guys are just like, watching a movie, and, you have to get your money up because she's going to want to go on dates. Where are you going to take her? You don't have money. I'm not giving you money to take her to Applebee's. You have to do that. That's why you have to get your protein up. You have to go to the gym and you have to get your money up. And he was just like, yeah, let's do it. Oh my God, let's go today. Let's go to the gym. And that's how storytelling is so, like, I could make a kid want to go to the gym, eat protein, and get his money up. But the way that you move people is by making it relevant to their desires. And that's why it's just a framework that you could practice and just play with. It could be really fun, it could really be fun, and it still moves people. It still makes my 8-year-old want to go to the gym and get his muscles up because he's ready for the girl of his dreams, and he's already visualizing him being the man, and he got his money, and oh, he's the shit, right? So that's how powerful it is. That's how powerful it is.
I love that. That was such a good way to put that too. I feel like you told a story in a story so that people could understand, which was awesome. So I love that. And good luck to your son too with his
I
gym
know,
journey.
right?
um, okay, I loved all of that. Can you tell us where can we find you? And do you have any freebies or anything that you want to share with my audience where they can start to learn about the freedom or feminine sales revolution?
Yes, you guys could go to my Instagram at the Feminine Souls Revolution. And when you go on there, you will see a link that is hightickethealers.com. When you go on that link, you're going to see a free masterclass that reveals to you how you can showcase the value as a healer around your work, because sometimes it feels like intangible. Oh, it's just energy work. I can't charge 4 figures. No one's going to pay that. This masterclass will show you how to talk and express about your offer in a way where people are willing to pay 4 figures, and how you can talk about it where they see the value and they're willing to pay. And also, it's going to give you a beautiful mindset shift, because high ticket is not just about you. It's about the client wanting a transformation, and and what's so beautiful about high ticket is that the client is dedicated to that transformation. And that's why it's such a beautiful relationship. And when you could get your mind around it, and I help you shift your mindset around charging high ticket and how to talk about your offer in a way where people are going to pay a high ticket, the world is yours. So that's where you could find that.
Awesome. And we'll link that masterclass and your website below and your Instagram as well too, so people can just connect with you and send you a DM if they have any questions. And My last question for you is, I know you love hypnotherapy, and I am curious, how do you feel hypnotherapy, subconscious work, has supported you in the feminine sales revolution and how it intertwines, like, both in being a feminine healer, magical goddess, but also just in like owning this revolution.
Yeah, and oh my gosh, I could literally talk for hours, but I'm gonna tell you guys really like
I mean, we can do another episode where we talk
I
just
know, right? No,
about
really
hypnotherapy.
quickly though. Um, so if you and I'm telling Addison, I was like, Addison, I need customs for my clients because, guys, because it's just okay. So let me start here. Before I even tried hypnotherapy with Addison, which she's the first one I've ever tried hypnotherapy with, and I'm gonna be in her world forever. Is I as a feminine being, of course, I want to be connected to my soul and I want to feel connected to my higher self. I want to be connected to the embodiment of what I am here to do. And in the past, I've tried like meditations and like it was cool. Like I would get, I would be on a vibe. I would try like journaling. I'm just like, okay, this is pretty cool. But I felt like, excuse me, I felt like when I did hypnotherapy, it feels like it's doing the recoding for you. Whether you're trying to get out of scarcity, whether you're trying to have more trust in your process, whether you're trying to feel like a sales magnet, it feels like I'm able to relax and the hypnotherapy does the rewiring for me. And I just come out of those sessions like it's just like I don't even know how to describe it because it's so good. It's just like I feel energetically on point. My mindset is on point. I'm on the momentum. I'm riding the rocket ship and I am unstoppable. And in the past I've had moments where I like a few years ago where I did a business pivot, but I did it so wrongly and that led to me like dropping the ball on so many things. So of course it dropped my sales and I was in such a scarcity loop and it was so hard to get out of it. Meditation did help, but with hypnotherapy, it was just the most easeful process that I've ever experienced that has allowed me to recode my nervous system to wealth, to more ease. And I remember when I just started it with Addison, I remember, and I'm pretty sure I shared this with her, maybe like that month or that next month I had like the most like I had a really high cash month and I worked less than ever before. I was taking naps, I was doing hypnosis, I was just being and I just had such and I'm just like, oh my God, I know this is because of hypnosis. And so it really allows you to just shed all of that shit and get out of your mind and recode your nervous system, but in a way where it actually produces results. And that's why I think it's so important because even with a feminine, quote unquote, feminine business model, if you're still leading from scarcity, but you want feminine, but your mind and your body and this really allows you to be so clean energetically into a feminine business model that it's going to produce cells and you're trusting the process and you're allowing yourself to rest and you're allowing yourself to connect which is going to lead to cells and you could just be on that path and you could leave the bullshit in the past, honestly, is what it's been feeling like.
I love that. Thank you for sharing. I feel like, to your point about hypnosis and stuff too, it's because I bring a lot of the somatics, the feeling, the body, the nervous system regulation into it. So I think the number one thing that I hear from people is just like, I didn't know I could be this calm in business, because there's always
Mm.
going to be like those ups and downs and stuff in business. And, times where you don't feel like selling or you don't feel like getting in those Facebook groups, but like, that's a part of the process. And I think even in feminine sales, it's like you still have to have that system that you apply every single day, even if it's super, super simple. So there's so many pieces that hypnotherapy helps: the discipline, the, trusting the process, like you said, the
Mm.
loving the journey, the being in your message and convicted and confident and all of the
Oh my
things. So
gosh.
I
There's
love
one
it.
last thing I need to say about that. Prior to doing hypnotherapy with Addison, I knew I had to change my identity, and I was trying to do it. I was doing different ways, but it wasn't until hypnotherapy that I was able to just slip into that new identity. And I remember like even early, no, last week, I felt like a little wobble for like a day, guys. It was just a moment. But after that, like doing hypnotherapy, it just allows you to shake things off so quickly and come back into that identity that things blossom from. So that's another beautiful favorite thing that's allowed me to do is step into a new identity and stop battling with the old one, and and leave that behind. It's just been so beautiful.
Oh, I love that. Well, I'm excited for everyone to listen to this and hear about the feminine sales revolution. And you gave so many good, tangible tips, like content ideas, and like even that post for Facebook is so simple. People could kind of play around with that right now. But if anyone here has any questions about feminine sales or sales that work for you, or getting off that marketing hamster wheel and getting into a more feminine sales process in the group goddess method, you should just reach out to Laura directly, download her masterclass. And even just, it sounds like you love connecting with people, so they can probably DM you, right? And ask you any questions. But this has been amazing, and I'm really excited for them to go implement those very tangible tips that you gave today. So thank you so much.
You're very welcome. It was a pleasure, and thank you guys so much. I look forward to being on again, and we could talk about more hypnosis and how it's just
Yeah.
been incredible in sales. But yeah, thank you so much. Thank you.
Yes. We'll do a whole episode on just hypnosis. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.